Hello, friends. Today we will see how we can use code spaces and introduction of micro agents. In the last call, we saw uh, a localized LLM called Digger, how to create a LLM, how to utilize LLM to create our own personalized agents. So Dingen is now is going to create manage the micro agents in order to create some tasks. So we actually for in this demo I refer to a repo which is this one micro agents which had a release recently. So some of the key points to note here is it's a framework and it represents a new approach creating self-improving agents. So I thought of experimenting this, but it has some caveats. One of the caveat is the code that is generated through LLM. It could may have some vulnerability. So I was looking for some way to execute this and try it out. So we will see how to utilize code spaces in GitHub along with Copilot. So before we go get there, we will see a general idea how what is this micro agent and how it interacts. This is how the repo author has say how to train a micro agent. So we are going to train our Dingen, who is created in the last video. We created Dingen using semantic kernel and Olama. So here we are going to train him to manage multiple agents. So this is how it looks. So the question that we are going to ask is from a particular location. We are just trying to type what is this is how the flow start. What is the weather in my location? So the agent doesn't know how to identify the location. So it bootstraps an agent, and from that it understands, okay, for in order to get the location it has to understand where the user is from. So it spins up the framework spins up a mechanism, like you could see that in order to fetch the IP address it is trying to spin an agent, and from the IP address it will start getting the location. So you see that it is the user is asking a particular generic question, but the agents are trying to split that. With a planner it is trying to add personas by itself. It is thinking and try to accomplish the task. Basically it is trying to get the context by itself. So this is a rough to start with. We can use this as a baseline framework for our projects. So what I did is I understood that diagram and started analyzing how we can. So I did a fork. That the next step is, in order to execute this, there is a innovative, what to say, a ecosystem provided by GitHub. It was there in the last Microsoft Ignite event, where they introduced CodeSpace. Satya was trying to code by himself using CodeSpace. So here I thought of, like, you click on, once you fork it, you could click on it and click on this code space. So it tries to, actually I already spin up, so we don't need that. So what we can do here is you click on this, you could see many options. I am not going into detail. You will see, like, once you create it, it is free for two cores. I already created one. You click on that and you get a beautiful VS Code in the browser, and this is a running app. So I did some customization, like I changed the theme to dark. You can use the doc. There is a dev container.json. You can add those configuration, pre-built the image, and the code space will be picked up from those configuration. It's a customizable environment. So this environment, there are two three things. One, it's a browser based Visual Studio Code. If you have a Copilot subscription, in order to understand the code, you can use Copilot. Okay, anyway, we will see that. Actually, I have used Copilot to understand the code. So if you want to understand this piece of code, you can just right click and you can understand it. So I did a deep dive about the code, so using Copilot. So in order to run this, you have to set the secret early. Actually, I just went through the readme here. So now the code is running in a environment which is safe, which is not in your. It is not going to harm any local system. It is running in a different space. It could be a container spin up within the GitHub environment. So after setting up the prerequisites, there are two ways to invoke this. One way is the command, like if I just invoke using the command. Okay, open in browser. The other way is there is a GUI for this. Let's see how it runs. In I have set up my OpenAI key as mentioned by the. So this is a nice little GUI in. So these are the agents which are currently available. Now you can. These agents are currently not yet active, so you can chat with this by saying that what is. I'm just taking the for the demo in order to save some time. Just I'm just asking. So you could see that the framework has started creating the agents, that it understood that the last input what is. So it is trying to understand among this agent which agent is needed to execute. It understood that it's a math calculation, so it is trying to invoke that and get the results for us. So, as I said, the code produced by LLM could be, and there is a banner within this fork, like microagents execute Python code directly. Currently, do not operate within a sandbox. It's highly recommended to run within a such as GitHub's Codespace. So this video is a demo for both microagents and Codespace. Codespace, it's very interesting. Like if you click on here. It's basically free for each repo, I guess. I've been experimenting with other projects. It's not yet charged yet, so it's an easy. So what happens here you see the result is multiplying. I hope it's right. So let's see. Once the agent is triggered, it goes for sleeping. So let's the top news. It takes time. So say let's say retrieve population data from Thailand. So what is Japan? So what it does is it is trying to from this question it is trying to spin up the agent who can provide this answer, that too in a well orchestrated way. And we can write code, we can structure it, and we can provide instructions, and the agents could spin up based on the like we can write code. So you could see that these agents are kind of orchestrated in a using a centralized framework. That's what I think, that's the micro agent framework. So using this, I'm trying to create a small project. So that's about the micro agents and code space. As you see here, see, I clicked twice. That's why it has two things. So try not to do that. So here you have multiple options. So you just say stop. Uh, Hope it doesn't crash my existing. So code space is a nice way to like experiment. See, the current population of Japan is so and so. Okay, so here if you see, it has triggered the right agent. It understood that there is a agent that it could spin up. It could interact with LLMs and spin up multiple agents, but I need to explore more on that. But this is kind of a cool baseline where you can get a baseline framework and start building on that using code spaces. Hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you.